morning and welcome. I'm Karen. This is Veronica Streams Coaching and Tarot. Today is Tuesday. I hope we all are doing fantastic today. It's going to be our daily reading. Taking a look at current situation and influences around that. I'm going to use Somnia Tarot. Sticking with it. So let's see what's up. What do we need to know today? Okay, current situation. Seven of Swords, present influence. Chariot, future influence. Eight of Cups. We had that yesterday in the last piece over there, so it's kind of fallen in. Unexpected. Queen of Wands, challenge. Justice, strength. Six of Wands. Where does this lead? Four of Swords. The Moon. Page of Cups. Hangman, and after that is the Ace of Cups. So Hangman's at the bottom of the deck, and the Ace of Cups is after that. There's definitely like work being done at trying to figure something out, like looking. So you may have been in a position, Hangman, where you've kind of stepped back from a situation. It does mean looking at it differently, but even more so, in this case, I believe it's the stepping back from it. Not even necessarily looking at it differently, just taking a break from it. Sometimes the Hangman is taking a break, but most importantly too, it's the self-reflection and looking at yourself in the situation instead of the other people involved in the situation or the situation itself. It's like, what do I do? How can I change? How can I look at this differently? How, that taking responsibility and realizing that, you are in charge of you. No matter what anyone else does, you don't have any, a control over that. All you have control really is over what you do and how you do it and how you look at it and moving forward. So I feel like that's where you're at. It's really important when we take ownership of our behavior, our actions, our thoughts. And because then we can really put the power to us. If we are always, so when we have misfortune, if we're blame on others, which sometimes, someone else could do something that harms you and it's their fault. But when you own up to, well, I got to get past this. I have to, put this back on me because it's affecting me. So what do I need to do to change it? I'm not saying like take blame, but take responsibility. That's what I feel like you're doing here. You're going, okay, how can I change this? How can I make this situation better? Or even just looking at life in general. The Seven of Swords is in the current situation. And that's what I see here is, this isn't, I feel like, anyone playing a game or anything like that. I feel like this is literally you going, no, I've got this. I'm going to take this back. Whatever it is, whether it's your strength, whether it's your happiness, whether it's your, when a situation that's hard happens, sometimes we get sad or we get bitter or we, get angry. Instead of that, you're saying, no, I'm not going to let this situation drive how I react. I'm not going to let it drive how I move forward. I'm not going to let it drive. I'm taking charge. And then the present influence is the Chariot, because this is you moving forward. Going, no, I need to move forward. I need to keep going. I need to, move. I'm stagnant, especially Hangman. When you're in Hangman, even if it's, the Hangman fell out, even if it's purposely, it's still a stagnant energy where you're not moving. And the Chariot here is getting out of that. So tell me more about this Chariot. Tell me about the Chariot, please. Where are we headed here? or what's the thought behind it, or tell us more about it. What is this Chariot? Okay, we've got Four of Pentacles, Two of Wands, Eight of Cups. So yeah, this is okay. I've held on to something, and the Two of Wands is the plans of moving forward, and I need to move now, move away, and that's exactly what's going to happen here with the future influence. So this Eight of Cups is showing up and saying, you know, I need to move towards something better. I need to, whether it's just better your life, better attitude. You know, it could be as simple as that, or as much as I need to leave this person, I need to leave this job, I need to leave this situation completely. It can be a very small amount, or it can be big, but you are definitely headed that way. You know, I feel like the the Two of Wands is cool because you're looking at what you've been holding on to, and you have been saying, no, I'm not doing that anymore. Let's go ahead and clarify the Seven of Swords, but I do feel like that's you taking stuff back. I really do. um and I like it that moving away from that Hangman too. I got to start moving, got to do something here. It's like getting kicked. Tell me more about this Seven of Swords, please. Ten of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you have been, and it could be, something, it could be about home to some degree, about stability. The Queen of Swords, though, is your um, focus on taking back. And the Seven of Pentacles is, it's been long enough. Like I've waited long enough. It's time. Regardless of what is going to happen here, I need to look after me. The Seven of Pentacles, I always feel like is that garden, right? It's the um, seeing what things are going to happen, but it feels like with this Seven of Swords is taking it back because I'm not waiting anymore. I'm not waiting because it may not ever happen, right? Like you might be waiting for something that may not ever happen, no matter how much energy you put into it. If there is no other energy into it, it may not happen. So you're done with it, And that's what the Eight of Swords or the Eight of Cups is. So that's good. I feel like this is definitely motion driven. Tell me about this Eight of Cups, please, in the future. So the Eight of Cups is literally saying, I've got to head towards something that is good for me. Whatever these cups are behind me, they're not good for me anymore. I need to move away from that. Tell me more about this Eight of Cups, please. Eight of Cups. Four of Pentacles. Death. Again, we've had Four of Pentacles two different times. So you're holding on to something, right? But I feel like, you have held on, but things are changing with that Death card. That things are definitely transforming here. When we hold on to something, it can be negative in the respect that maybe we need to let it go, but sometimes we have to look at the lessons that we've learned and what we have, moving forward. So in a way, it can be a positive and can help us move forward because we're recognizing what we have at our disposal. The Knight of Pentacles is, I feel like, just this has been kind of on your mind for a while, and it's now moving. Again, this maybe take some patience, and it looks like it might, but I feel like that once you put this into motion, it's going to go forward in a very positive way. And I like too here, we've got the Queen of Wands in the unexpected. So that is like the energy of motivation and getting excited and going, you know what, I can do this. I can do this. And and bringing in the excitement. And it could be someone else that comes in and helps you, but let's look at it and see if we can. I feel like it's you. Like you're surprised at once you make this decision how much better you feel and how much more excited you feel. Tell me more about this Queen of Wands, please. Tell me about this Queen of Wands. King of Swords, Four of Pentacles again, Eight of Pentacles. So there's definitely, oh God, they're all upside down and stuff. King of Swords, Four of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. King of Swords, this could be somebody that you're holding on to. I feel like what you're holding on to is, you may have had someone say something to you that hurt you or bothered you or something, and you held on to that. But I feel like with the Eight of Pentacles, it's the getting through that. And I feel like once you realize what's really happening, it brings in that motivation and that excitement. I feel like that's a really good card coming in because these energies are not necessarily easy. The Chariot is the easiest one because it's just go for it, right? Now, the Eight of Cups, though, is a decision you're making, and decisions are never easy, especially if you're going to say, I'm not going to look at this situation anymore. So having that Queen there is really about you're realizing how much happier you can be when you finally make this move. And that's what's key, because it may not bring this super excitement in, but you are going to be more motivated. You are going to have more energy towards what you really want to put that energy towards instead of the situation, which is going nowhere. So then it leads to the four. Okay, wait, oops, sorry. Challenge is the Justice. I feel like if you've been waiting for justice to happen, you might be disappointed, because I think you might be thinking of justice in a specific way, um, and it won't happen in the way you think about it. Now, I do like the Strength is the Six of Wands because that is the recognition. I feel like too, this may also be that someone recognizes you as well, that puts you into a more motivated, um, gives you more motivation, and that helps because no matter what, no matter how much we try to do stuff on our own, it's never easy, and sometimes it takes someone saying something that makes us go, ooh, okay, I can do this. So tell me about the Justice in this challenge here. Why is this Justice here? Okay, Five of Pentacles, Four of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. Yeah, the Five of Pentacles, feeling a little bit lost. I'm going to use that. The Four of Cups can feel like a lost card too, because if you have your eyes set on something and that's not happening, you can feel lost. It's like, I feel like you want a situation to be righted where you were feeling lost and hurt. And the challenge is, will that happen or not? And the Queen of Wands, I feel like you're getting the Queen of Wands back here in the unexpected. So you might have felt like someone has taken your energy away. Now, even if it's not blame, like blaming someone, you feel like your energy has been dissipated, or you've lost some of your will or your motivation. And you're kind of waiting for something to happen to help you through that. And that's probably not going to in the way that you want it to, or the way you foresee it. Sometimes things don't happen quite like that. If we've been hurt or anything like that, sometimes we want to have justice on the other person, where they may have not really done anything wrong either. They're looking out for themselves. It's just time that you look out for yourself. That's all. I mean, we can blame all we want to the end of time, but honestly, it may not be that at all. So if there was a situation, now again, this could be work, love, home, friends, family, anything where we felt like, yeah, you feel like almost like you were wronged, but maybe it isn't that at all. And so that may not ever, happen. The Six of Wands, please, and the Strength. What is the Six of Wands telling us here? Ace of Pentacles, Two of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like, okay, yeah, you have made a decision to move forward. There's been some kind of opportunity or This ace could even be with this in a strength position. This ace could be knowledge, an understanding, you discovering something. And the Two of Swords is making a decision that, yeah, I need to keep moving forward. I need to move forward in my way, and that's the recognition here. Now, it could be too that there could be recognition at work that, but I feel like with that decision, it's really not. It's not someone recognizing you. It's more you recognizing because you're making a choice. That's what's giving you the strength here. Once you make that decision to move forward, that is a strength. Because sometimes we can sit and not know exactly how to move forward or know exactly what to do next. And that is, again, the holding pattern here. Oh, I thought I saw my cat. It was a bag on the floor. Four of Swords here and where this leads. So we got the Four of Swords, the Moon, and the Page of Swords. Four of Swords, is that healing, that rest, that break. The Moon, I'm feeling is getting over that break, is coming out of the water, because in this deck he's coming out of water, so he's starting to see things more clearly. And the Page of Cups is, I think, a message is going to come in that makes you understand things better too, like how to not necessarily even understand, but make you feel better, because the Page of Cups is definitely going to be a gift. It could be a message, but it could be a sign. It could be a gift coming in. We'll clarify that one for sure. I'm going to clarify the Moon here. The Four Swords makes sense to me, sitting and taking a moment, because once you decide to move forward, it's hard. So it might, you might take a step back for a minute. But I feel like what that does is put you in a position to discover with that Moon. That's why I'm clarifying the Moon. What is the Moon, please, here? Eight of Wands, Three of Wands, Knight of Cups. Yeah, you're discovering, like, I feel like the Knight of Cups here is you going after what you really want, what's important to you. These are great cards. So, I mean, these are all very positive cards. Eight of Wands, Three of Wands, and the Knight of Cups. So the Eight of Wands is, I think, that forward movement. This could be a message coming in that makes you see things clearly. In other words, the Moon seeing things clearly, and the Three of Wands seeing things come together. So once you take that break with the the Four of Swords, everything's coming together here, and you can see it. And I feel like this is you moving towards what you love, what's important to you, what you care about. And then it leads to that Page of Swords. So let's talk about the Page of Swords here. What is this? I'm sorry, Page of Cups. I don't know why I said swords. At least I'm catching myself. I know sometimes I don't catch myself. Tell me about this Page of Cups. And that's weird too. There was no swords. Tell me about the Page of Cups. What is this Page of Cups? I might be in my head, right? The swords. Tell me about this Page of Cups. Devil, Nine of Swords, Six of Cups. Oh, I think it's a realization. Well, I mean, darn. And I say darn because I feel like there is something you're attached to that stresses you out. And we had this almost exact combination, I feel like, yesterday. I know we had the Nine of Swords, and I felt like it was with the Devil, but maybe not. Um, and then the Six of Cups is, I feel like what this is there is some kind of gift that comes in that actually makes you see how you were affected by a situation that stressed you out in the past. Again, why you are in that hangman. So there may be an opportunity. Something happens, comes in, message, something, and it makes you realize that, oh, that has stressed me out. Because I feel like the six, this is not bad in the sense of that this is going to happen. I feel like you are given a gift to see the Six of Cups, how this affected you in the past. And I think what happens here, if let's say this is somebody, because it's the easiest thing for me to uh, identify with, if this is somebody that has stressed you out in the past, if the situation was stressful, or you got anxious when dealing with this person, or something of that nature, you get a message. Let's say it's from this person, and all of a sudden you're hit with that anxiousness feeling. You are all of a sudden hit with the attachment to this person, and you then are given a gift because it's opened your eyes back up again to not fall into the same attachment, that you were in before. Doesn't mean you necessarily ignore this person, but you definitely understand. And that's what the gift is, right? It's the gift of understanding what has happened in the past. And it really just makes things very, very clear is what happens with that. I didn't pull an advice card. What is the advice for today? Oh, the High Priestess. Trust yourself. I mean, that's easy. No, I mean, it's not necessarily easy to trust yourself. The card is easy because it's what it is, right? Trust your intuition, trust yourself. Sometimes it's also like take a moment and, if you need to meditate on something or take a breather, take it. But most importantly, trust that intuition. You know, it's hard sometimes because we want to our intuition could be telling us something, but our ego can tell us something too. And sometimes it's hard to differentiate. And I'm not the best person to tell you how to differentiate. It's more about, it's, I think we have to know ourselves to differentiate that, like know what your triggers are and know that, because then it's easier to say, oh no, that's my ego talking here. That's not my intuition. I know that because this is a trigger for me, or this is something that I want or expect, instead of no. If I'm really listening and I'm taking a deep breath and taking a step back, what's really happening here? So really trust yourself, your intuition, and also just trust yourself on doing the right thing. Trust yourself for that, because what someone else may think is the right thing isn't necessarily the right thing for you. And that's important too, because if we're listening to other people, or we're listening to social media, or we're listening, that's not necessarily for you, right? When people do social media, keep in mind they're doing it for themselves first. And it's not like they're trying, when you're listening to someone talk on social media, let's just say not entertainment type comedy, but let's say like people, they're doing it for themselves. They're speaking for themselves. They want to speak. They want to tell how they feel, what they think, how they see it. That doesn't mean that that's how you should see it, how you should feel. You have to do your own due diligence to figure that out. We're all different. Um, and and if you think about it, I mean, knowing a little bit about social media, that I've done some of it in the past where I had a lot of people, following me. Mostly I did it for me. It wasn't, yeah, maybe I wanted to spread a thought or a word or whatever, but overall it was for me. It was for me to heal. It was for me to come to grips on things and to understand myself. So a lot of that does happen. I'm not saying everyone does things that I do. They really think that, some people think that the world should be how they feel like the world is. We're all different. And what's right for someone else is not necessarily right for you. And sometimes it's hard to say, no, I'm not going to do it that way because this is what I need. This is what I want. This is what I need. Not this over here, what someone else is telling me. And it's even harder if it comes from like your parents or loved ones. This is the best thing for you. No, it's really not the best thing for me. This is the best thing for me, and that's where it really differentiates. Sorry, I went on a tirade there. Apologies. So yeah, trust yourself, and I hope you enjoyed the reading. Take care. Have a beautiful day.